Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for spending a little bit of that day with me. I appreciate that. Yeah, the coffee's getting to me. I'm not editing it out. I'm leaving it, all right? I'm leaving it. So let's talk today about stuff that is only really measured in the W. Games that look like not great games, that you did something that mattered to the team, and the direct result is aiding in the W, right? Doing the team player thing. There's a lot of, in the past when it was writing, people would say there's a lot of spilled ink about whatever. So there's a lot of recorded video and spilled ink to some extent on the forums, if you want to use that little saying for that as well, for typing stuff on the forums, about 1v29, right? It's you versus the world. Everything you do is about you in this game. There is no team. Don't trust your team. They're all cretins. They're all terrible. You don't do team things. It's only bad. Man, bit of a rant week, I suppose, to some extent, but I so disagree with that. First of all, that is a miserable way to live, isn't it? Why? That's just miserable. Why be miserable? You know what I'm saying? But in relation to what we're talking about here, I like trying to play a bit of the teamwork thing. Now, you will see me on stream. Sometimes people will do something, and now I have a data point about that person, and I won't be that interested in helping them, because I'll try to make a move, or I'll be there helping them, but they won't help me. So that is, you've got to play with the people that you've got, and the only intel you have is how they're playing. But as a general rule, I do try to play this as a team game, and I realize that you don't always get that. It's a pub match, and I probably lean more towards selfishness than teamwork, but I don't go all the way towards it's 1v29. I just think that's a terrible way to go about playing a video game. I mean, unless you're doing PvE solo stuff, then go for it, right? Who cares? But when you're doing PvP with other humans, it's just a lot more fun. My most memorable games are when some random teamwork starts happening. Where you get a little synergy with another player, and you realize that they're actually thinking what you're thinking, and you're moving along. Then you get the GGs after, high five, all that. I just love that. In addition to that, you should always be, in my opinion, while you're playing this game, is trying to figure out what the team needs at the moment, and if you can provide that. You can't always go YOLO, give all your hit points to your teammates, save somebody who needs saving, all that stuff. And sometimes that's not a good idea in terms of winning the game. But sometimes you see something happening, and it's not going to be a really great move for you personally, but it's something that has to happen in the match. All right, preliminaries aside, let's take a look at what's going on. I take my 277. It's an all tier 10 battle. I come up to this road. We've got a Kron and EBR looking up here forward. They've pushed a 430U up. The Leopard's done his best, but he's been beat up. He's the only guy that went to the middle. We have a decent amount of guys down here in the heavy area over on the east side. And then in the west, we have, I don't know, a third of the team humping rocks in the back. All right, maybe it's a fourth of the team. The center's a problem. The center is a pretty big linchpin in this game. It's hard to use. People don't like to go there because it's easy to get beat up. There are a couple big artillery. But after I saw the Leopard get tore up, I knew that something had to be done about the middle. So I take me and my hit points and my okay view range. It's tier 10, so really everything is about as good as you're going to get view range. And I come in here and I start looking for some shots and to help. So first thing we've got is the AMX-50B, which of course I miss. Why wouldn't I? But he gets nuked by the 4005. And now I know there's a Manticore up here. And really, the linchpin of the enemy team right now, even though we're up 300 hit points and a couple tanks, we don't really have great positioning otherwise. So I need to get something up here into this middle area and start contesting this. And if I can get the Manticore dead or flush him out or figure out what's going on, all the more better, because he's really controlling this side of the map. And to some extent controlling the other. So I do get spotted coming in. That lets me know he's probably there. And then I expect Artie to hit me at any point, more than likely. Yep, there it is. Boom. So we get hit. Not too bad, 120. Unfortunately, it's the 55-58, which means he has more shells. So we'll get that fixed, and I'll back out a little bit more. Hopefully he doesn't shoot me again. The Leopard's backed out because he doesn't want to get spotted. Now I'm really curious. I'm like, all right, where is this stupid Manticore? Is he really here? I should be dark. If I come in here and get spotted, I know he's around. Don't see him. I back out, back in. Nope, he does take the shot, and he's at low hit points. All right, so I know the Manticore's there. He's really anchoring. We're starting to build an advantage, and I'd really like to break the middle open. If I can break the middle open, then we can split them apart, and we'll have cross shots. And then I noticed that down below, the heavy guys have done a pretty good job. There's probably not much of there. There's at least a Super Conqueror. There's quite a few guys unspotted, but I don't expect there to be too much. So let's just push over across here. Here comes the Artie again and nails me directly. And I want to get in here and try to get this Manticore. And unfortunately, the Super's right there. Manticore runs off. Get a bouncer, no shot there. Taking some hits. I need to get up against this building so I don't get shot in the back. There we go. So we shift a little bit. And now my heavies, we've got the Super Conqueror kind of locked down. He's getting thumped, and hopefully my heavies can move in. We're holding on their side. Now I make some mistakes here. If everything was perfect, that would be great, but it isn't. Can't get my, there we go. Sticking my rear end out a little bit. He's right on this corner, and then I know there's a bunch of snipers sitting up here, so I got to be careful about sticking the back end out. I also don't want to give the Super Conqueror too many shots, then he dies, and that's great. So now we're at 589 assists. That's all I've done, but we've broken open the middle of the map, right? I took my hit points from over where I was doing nothing over there, moved it to the middle, helped the Leopard push the Manticore out, and all of a sudden, boom. With good work, obviously, over on the east side. That's important. I'm not saying that this was the Guido show, that everything I did was what won it. But I'm able to then pry open that important middle area there. And we're off the races. Now I'm just going to make a plain old mistake right here. I see the Manticore. I'm really hoping he's not paying attention, but he is. Try to go for a shot. He hits me. The Leopard hits me. I'm out of the game. I didn't need to do that. So that was not... That was not part. Had I not done that, I would have been involved in cleanup, and I probably would have got some more hit points out of it. But up to that point, doing the teamwork thing, that's only measured in a W. Right? I don't have any damage. Pretty pathetic game. If you just looked at the game, you're like, you actually did nothing. What'd you do? Sit on the red line? No, I got forward, looked around, noticed that the west side wasn't much I could do there. Right? I had so many guys camping back. The Kron probably had enough spotting between him and the EBR to make sure anything that came up got punished at least. So instead of sitting there, why don't I go where the Leopard needed some help? He took some beating. Good on him for trying to control the middle there. And then take my armor and hit points and get in there and try to do something about it. But I didn't bounce a single shot, unfortunately. And then I made my own mistakes midway through that, or towards the end of that whole situation, and getting shot in the back. That was just plain old stupidity. But up to that point, that's putting that knife, that dagger, into the heart of that enemy team and just ripping open that middle part so that we can just split them in half and start taking them out. And we end up winning because once we kill the 705A, we kill their Artie, and we're able to swing over to the west side and win. So look for those opportunities while you're playing. You know, sometimes somebody has to do it. Try to step back a little bit from the it's 1v29, I do nothing for anybody thing. Frankly, this win was more satisfying than a lot of 7,000 damage wins where it was just a romple stomp when we drove through everybody. This was more interesting. The brain engaged. I looked at the map. I decided where to go. My decision was correct. I was able to help the team, split open the purples and get a win out of it from what was initially a close game until I moved over and we started breaking it down. And it's unfortunate for the enemy team, they didn't have anybody doing the same. All they had was the Manticore. I mean, if one of the Leopards had come up there, maybe things are different. Maybe they handle me faster, or I know there's a Leopard and a Manticore and I don't push across because I'm a little bit worried about getting gunned down really quickly. So the enemy team didn't do what we did, and there you go. We end up with the W and my whole 589 assists. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming by. That's all I've got. We will see you.